I forget I believe it's in Matthew 11, but it's regarding I consider this probably the most terrifying verse in the Bible. And I've heard other people have very different interpretations of it. I'd love to get your guys' interpretation of it, where Jesus basically says, many on this day will come to me and say, Lord, Lord, did we not do miracles and prophesy and heal people in your name? And he'll say, I'll surely turn to them and say, I never knew you, you workers of lawlessness.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd just love to get your interpretation on that. And thanks again for your ministry.
Hey, thank you for the encouragement, brother. And you're right. This is one of the most terrifying passages in all of the Bible, I think. Matthew chapter 7, beginning in verse 21. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, that is the day of judgment, that's what Jesus is referring to here. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name? And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. Now, you note here that Jesus isn't talking about an individual Christian losing their salvation. It's not, hey, I used to know you, we used to be in a good relationship, you were justified, and then you fell away, and sorry, you lost your salvation. No, that's not what Jesus says. He's talking here to false teachers, false prophets. In the context, Jesus had made this clear back in verse 15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. And so externally, they look really good. Maybe they do acts of charity. I mean, the people here are appealing to their works. David, they're saying, didn't we prophesy in your name, Jesus, and do all these wonderful things in your name? And actually, the reality is, they didn't even know who Jesus was, and Jesus didn't know them. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that Jesus wasn't aware that they existed or that kind of a thing? No. In the scriptures, both in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, that word know means more than just sort of have a cognitive knowledge of. To know speaks of intimacy. God said of Israel in the Old Testament, you only of all the nations of the world have I known. I mean, you think of even in the book of Genesis where it talks about Adam and Eve coming together, that Adam knew his wife Eve. I mean, the act of intimacy there in the Bible, this word to know, it speaks of so much more than just a sort of head knowledge. Jesus is saying, we were never in a relationship. We never had a personal relationship. You did not know me by faith. That was the problem here. These false teachers, it's so interesting, David. They're appealing to their works, what they've done. And Jesus says, I never knew you. Now, I think one of the reasons why this is so scary is because each of us, we think, man, when I'm standing before the Lord on the day of judgment, it seems like these people are just caught completely off guard. How could they be so blind? They think that they're serving Jesus, but they don't even know Jesus. These are the same people, brother, who rejected Christ. Now, how can they claim to be doing these miracles in his name and yet reject him? Well, he says, you're workers of lawlessness. That is, they didn't love him. They didn't keep his word. And that's not that we're saved by keeping God's word, by fulfilling the law. I talked about that with the first question. But when we truly know the Lord, when we have a relationship with him, when we're justified by faith, the Spirit of God begins to work in us, and we begin to love the Lord, to follow him imperfectly this side of heaven. But these people never had any of that. And so, brother, I think we ought to take this as a warning and ultimately to be reminded here of the importance of having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ by faith. Jesus said to them, I never knew you. David, does that help clear up this passage for you?
Absolutely, actually. Thank you so much for clearing that up. Sorry, my phone was just
No
went off
problem.
there.
Hey, I'm glad.
No, I really appreciate your time.
Wonderful. I'm glad that was helpful, and may the Lord bless you, brother. Hey friends, thanks for watching that video. I trust that it was encouraging to you. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're looking for more great content coming from Core Christianity. And if you haven't done so yet, would you give this video a like? It's one of the ways that we can continue to get the word out. So like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. May the Lord bless you.